I mean,
A bit windy.
They're kind of into Sunday Times science. Anything that makes a good couple of paragraphs. Easy something. Right. But they couldn't pick it up. Yes, they couldn't get the parallax.
Hi guys, we're here in Taunton.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting stuff, I have to say.
Cool. Let's see if anyone's here.
So yeah, you're doing a tour. Yes?
As you can see,
Oh, okay.
Harry's doing his usual interview.
You go up to the north coast of Ireland. You know where the Giant's Causeway is? So on the Giant's Causeway, I'm from the Giant's Causeway.
I'll just quickly show you
So
around.
But also, it's a perfect view.
So,
You can see from the Antrim coast. You see the coast of Taunton.
sorry guys, I can't tell if anyone's in the chat. Can't even read the chat, but if anyone's here,
76 miles.
that's great stuff. You can join us for a little while.
And you can see
So, as you can see, we've got a little bit of interest already. Okay.
80 miles of completely dive flat, which is, you know, that's
So,
once you've seen it. Yeah, well,
I'll have a little look round.
No. I've seen them, yeah.
And let's see if we can hang out some leaflets.
I mean, I would say probably about
Hand out. Would you like a leaflet there? Oh, that's okay, that's alright. Would you like a leaflet?
Yeah, so hey up, that's gravity.
That isn't gravity, that's density and buoyancy.
That's gravity.
Well, that's what we're all indoctrinated to believe. Well, that was a big gust. Right, I'm gonna have to, you're going to have to tie this down, Harry. Thank you very much.
Also the phone box is there. You're going to go off and this one off.
One sec, guys. So I'm just going to turn that off. Right, you've got that? Right.
Right.
It's got it on film.
Okay, so the thing is, like once you've done that, and it curves. Then you've got to make it stand. You've got to make like
Is that what you believe,
No, that's the government. That's your government telling you lies.
What is the
The Flat Earth Society. That's your government.
I don't think there's a flat Earth. What are you?
No, the Flat Earth. No,
You're Flat Earth.
I am a Flat Earther. I am not from the Flat Earth Society.
You're a flat Earther.
Oh yeah.
So you're saying that the Earth is flat.
Say what?
You're saying that the Earth is flat, are you?
Oh, I know it is. I only have to see land that you shouldn't be able to see.
How do you know?
I can prove it to you.
Go on then.
I can prove it right now. Okay.
So I've got this.
Right. Okay. So here, this is Pythagoras theorem. Okay.
Which is?
Okay. Spherical trigonometry. I'm using.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're using the Earth falls at 8 inches per squared mile. Okay, and it exponentially increases and increases. So this is a Blackpool Promenade. And on a good clear day you can see the Isle of Man, okay, and that's the Isle of Man there. It was in the Blackpool Gazette, okay. That's 65 miles away. Now if it drops, if it's going over the curve, okay, then the whole mountain should be hidden under 2,584 feet.
So why does a cannonball hit the wall?
So you've glossed over that. So you're not interested then? I'm trying to explain. Well, let me finish then.
Go on then.
Okay, because you just gloss over it. Okay, so 2,584 feet should be hidden. Okay, the highest mountain is Snaefell. That's 2,000 feet. Why can we still see it? This here is 273 miles, longest distance photograph, and that's 3 miles should be hidden. Now, it doesn't matter what science you give me or what explanations or anything, you should not be seeing something 3 miles away. Okay, you can't gloss over that. It's just that's spherical trigonometry, Pythagoras theorem. You can go home, you can research it yourself. You are a flat earther as well, my friend. You just don't know it yet.
You can see 3 miles away because you're standing about 1.5 meters above. Above
really?
the Earth.
Is that what you think? You need to go back and you need to research spherical trigonometry, and you will find yourself that you are a flat earther.
Well, it depends on the view. It depends on the viewpoint where you're standing. If you're standing at sea level,
on this one
if
is
you're standing
on
at
that
sea level,
on that one sea level on the promenade. Okay.
Promenade is about
it doesn't matter.
4 meters above sea level.
Yeah. Go online. There's.
Can you answer this one then? Okay, I'll get your point. I get your point that you shouldn't be able to see 3 miles because
and
of where you're
lighthouses.
standing.
Shouldn't be able to see any lighthouses. All boats shouldn't see lighthouses.
So when you see video of guys like Usain Bolt this morning was floating in the aircraft.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but go on.
You did.
So I didn't see it.
So what's that? Why is he doing that then?
So it was floating in an aircraft.
No, in an aircraft.
Well, I don't understand what that's got to do with.
So you don't believe there's a space station?
Oh, right. Okay, so let's talk about the space station. International.
So
the ISS are we talking
does
about?
Does gravity exist in the space station?
We seem.
Or not?
Sorry.
Does gravity exist?
I don't believe there is a space station. Ridiculous. Oh, right, okay. Because I know how propulsion works, and I know that you can't have propulsion in the vacuum of space. What's it pushing against?
You can if you've got photons.
Photons? What, you've been watching Star Trek, have you? Oh, come on.
No. A photon engine is being worked on now.
Yeah, okay. But
a photon, does a photon have mass?
And is that what all of these space rockets are used?
Does a photon have mass?
Yeah, you're being ridiculous. I'm sorry, you're being ridiculous.
Does a photon have mass?
That's okay. That's okay.
Not? Okay, mate.
Cheers, buddy. I'd love to debate you properly, but. Oh God! I'll swing that round.
The actual Reformation started destroying the quickly. You know, spread.
Hi guys. I can't cope with ridiculous. Right. Okay. We had a little bit of an accident there. All the banner came down just a minute ago. Right. Let's get that up. Right. Oh God.
Hi, nice to meet you, guys. I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Okay.
I've been following this since Eric DeVay put his stuff out right in the beginning. He wrote a few books, right?
Yeah.
And I love the guy.
All right.
Because it.
So you're fascinated at the moment, but you're kind of.
It fascinates me.
Where are you? You're like 90% there, 80% there?
98.
98. Well, that's where I was for a long time because I was still holding on to that globe. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
It's not that. It's because other people will ridicule you, isn't it? That's what the people are frightened.
Do you mind?
This
Are you okay with that? Are you? I can turn it off.
Well,
I can move it away.
Where are you going to put it?
You are actually live right now talking to people, and they're interested because they want to speak to you.
Do that.
All right, okay, I'll move that way.
Can,
sorry guys, I'm just going to move that to the side. In fact, I'll leave it at me. 1, 2, 3. There you go. It's on me.
Is this John Smith over here?
That's John Smith.
You see,
no, that's right. Well, yeah. I mean, for a long time, it's the man behind the camera, isn't it? Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, like, so you've gone through all the Apollo landings and all of that. You're happy, all the rubbish and 9/11 and.
Always. I'll tell you how I got started with all this kind of thing. I mean, I'm 73 now, right? I retired 8 years ago.
Right.
I've had time now to rethink and look at what's happening, how the world is getting sucked down into.
And you've only kind of just woke up now.
Well, no, when I was working, my last job I did, I lost my management jobs and that redundancy. I took a job as a milkman.
Okay.
And I was delivering milk, and I was told when I go to this certain house, it's during the night, there's this family in there. They're all Christian believers. But a couple of them, the children aren't.
Right.
They're always rowing over it.
Yeah.
And I just took my own hand. You're not doing
No, it's on me.
Okay. And one day, the bins were back, and on top of the bins there was this David Icke book been thrown out in the rubbish.
So you went via David Icke?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I picked that up. I thought, this is it, because I knew he was a footballer.
Yeah. No.
And I looked at that and I thought, this lizard thing.
Yeah.
But then prove him wrong.
See, my dad got.
That's how I got into.
Yeah,
stuff.
my dad got into David Icke first before me, and because my dad was into it, it was kind of like, oh, my dad's talking nonsense. Yeah. So I didn't want anything to do with it, sort of thing, at that point. So I could have been woken up years ago, and I didn't. I woke up kind of last year, and so.
I mean, he does a lot of. He's done so much research, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You've got to give it to
him.
And he can stand on the stage for 10 hours. I never.
That's right. I mean, he just did one. It was about 8 hours or something. He just did, didn't he?
I think his record was about 10 hours, 15.
And he's got a lot to talk about. He doesn't pause for a break.
And then you get silly people saying, "Oh, look at the sailor, look at his face." But he's holding a lot of knowledge, isn't he?
Yes.
He's bound to look a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I.
So how can we get you past the next 2%? How can we get? Where are you stuck at? Or is it just kind of gut feeling? You're kind of just holding on to it?
No, I don't think. don't think there is anything you can tell me
No.
different that I'm worried about.
Yeah,
mean, I understand that, you know, the rockets going up and going on the curve. Because I used to think that before I'd ever looked at any of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I think, why does it go like that?
Why does it go over?
Why is
Made
the
no sense.
satellite-
I mean,
why is the
even before.
satellite dishes pointing out that way.
Yes.
And but the
Oh, sorry, you sound like 100%.
the simple thing for me is so silly
Yeah.
that people just laugh and walk away.
Yes. Well, you just seen that guy there. It was.
a photograph.
Yeah.
Because they got so cool, like the Jesuit,
The Jesuits and Freemasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've got these satellites up there, and it's owned by them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like,
religion and all that stuff.
that's right,
They've got
that's
the
right.
biggest sort of observatory.
And like the biggest
Yeah.
telescopes and all that are all
And they
from.
can see
Yeah.
all these planets, and clear as day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they can't show you us.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
The axis.
But the thing is.
Plus, they tell me they can shoot down and read a newspaper from us.
Well, that's right. Yeah, do spy
Why
satellites.
can't they see the airplanes flying around.
You've been listening to John Smith, haven't you? Because he says that in his argument
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Well,
Yeah.
tell me why.
Yeah, no.
Can you?
I can't tell you why. no, because it makes sense. You know, it's that. I'm gonna have to tie that down. Yeah.
Was it John Smith? No, you've been in actually. They said about, you know, if you had a tube,
Yes.
you stuck, you know, hypothetically,
That's right.
stick it through the earth.
Yeah.
and jump in it and slide out. Wait where your feet come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And then you think,
Yeah. Yeah. You grabbed a leaflet before, didn't you? Did you get a
I
leaflet?
haven't got one. No.
Yeah, you got to take one home. You know. Yeah.
Give me I'll give you some money. Give me a few of them, and I'll
All right. Well, I've got.
I'll hand them out to a few
Yeah.
days.
We haven't got a lot today because we're waiting for a new shipment to come through tomorrow.
That's
So.
right. Should I give you something for them?
No.
Sure?
Oh, God, no. It's a pleasure. If you're going to hand them out, that's just a pleasure. Brilliant. God. No, I should be paying you. But I'm not.
The trouble is
you wanna go
you're
down
up
there?
against you're up against people's lifestyle, and they're in too much of a hurry.
Yes.
They even sit down.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why we like to come into town. I mean, look how interesting, whether people believe or not, look how interested people are.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
They're thinking, what the
this
hell's
is
going on there?
and then you know we get chased quite a bit, and I think, hang on, the public finds this, whether they believe it or not, they find it interesting. You know, like, and that's where people. We're just trying to spread a few seeds, get people to a website on that leaflet, and then once they've gone to that website,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we think that's when they'll start seeing like the main videos and that. Well, it kind of wakens you up a little bit.
What was your name?
Jason. Yeah.
I've heard your name.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of this. What was a good one that you had on there? Most of them are good, but there's one that stood out. I can't remember now. I'm getting old. But
So-
the Bay was the man, and
That's where I started off, Eric
then-
DeBay. Yeah, 200
that-
proofs.
That's when I started doing. I was looking at Kennedy thing.
Yes.
There was new stuff about Kennedy.
Yeah.
And it just kept popping up.
Yeah.
and I tried to tell my wife.
Yeah. All right.
You carry on.
Okay then, buddy.
Thanks for that.
All right. So have you come across this before?
I've come across some weird and wonderful things,
Yeah.
and I don't know what they are.
Okay.
You know when you...
Are you okay with this? Are you?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't mind.
Well, all right. Excellent.
I've,
Be a bit careful, Steve.
yeah.
I suspect
These things there, see that one there?
Yes.
Up in the sky,
Yeah.
there's obviously planets, or little planets.
Okay.
And there's other ones that are quite big.
Right. So they tell us. It's just like, how can we verify it? That's the problem. Because all they ever present us are CGI cartoons and that. If you go back and look at all your old textbooks, or, you know, like when you're growing up or anything, it's all CGI cartoons you were ever presented. You've never seen proper photographs of like Neptune and Pluto and Mercury. Where are these real photographs? You see CGI.
Yeah.
CGI you get. So
So what about these
over here is
Satellites up in the sky.
Well, we don't believe they're there. We don't believe they're there because, you know, like even at home, do you point your satellite dish right up in the sky? I mean, the satellite would be up there, wouldn't it? But we don't. We kind of fire them out, don't we?
My cousin, who lives in Canada,
Yeah.
is a scientist.
Okay.
Right, one's a scientist. They both work for the same company there, and she is to do with outer space. And they send a rocket up, and it goes out, and it goes up to what it wants, and it starts picking up things all around the world.
Okay.
Right. So what do you call that?
So, I mean, you're saying they're telling you that a rocket goes up, okay?
Yeah.
But all the video, all your footage that you've ever seen, and even seen it in real life, if you stand there, a rocket goes up, and then it goes off, it bends off, and then if you keep watching, it starts going back down again.
Yeah,
every rocket is rotating, you know, like, and it seems to go down. But why is it going down so fast? They all seem to go off, hidden into the Bermuda Triangle, you know, like, and they have this no light.
They've gone off their area, haven't they? Their draw.
Yeah. But anyway, let's say that, I mean, science does say that it goes. These rockets go to space. Okay, so do you understand how propulsion works in space? Well,
I've just started.
Let me enlighten you a little bit. I mean, a propulsion on a car and that, you know, like, so it fires off and it has traction on, you know, on the floor, and then it starts wheeling off, okay? And then you got propulsion on boats. They have a propeller, but it's still got to push against the water, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And then an aeroplane and that, you know, like, it's got its jet engines or whatever, and it's pushing against the atmosphere, and a rocket going up pushes against the atmosphere. And I believe it's Newton's third law. For every action there has to be an equal and opposite reaction. You know, it's all about the laws of motion or something. Okay, so when it's in space in a vacuum, and the vacuum is nothing, so what are these rockets pushing against to be in space? So we don't believe satellites are out there. We believe that your GPS and your mobile phones and everything, it's just cell towers, and they're springing up everywhere, all over the place. And we believe that it's just triangulation for GPS and that's all it is, and they've been using enhanced LORAN for donkey's years. That's all we believe it is. We don't believe these satellites are up there. We do see rockets go up, and then when we watch video footage and all that, even like the moon landings and all that, we filmed this greatest journey of mankind all the way into space. And then you know, film someone, you know, the astronauts and all that, you know, getting out of their spaceship and in the dock. It's the greatest journey of mankind.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't believe that they're up there. I mean, do you believe in the moon landings? You've seen it on TV. No. Let's say on moon landings, and then you tell me why that doesn't exist. Now you got to remember, these astronauts have been training all their lives, and then they finally get up there. It's like you training to climb a mountain. You get on the highest mountain. Are you telling me when you're on that mountain you're just going to do that? No, it'd be your greatest achievement ever. You're going to do a full 360 degree. That video footage doesn't exist on any of the Apollo missions. Doesn't exist. And then we hear we hear noises in space. You know, one of the astronauts throws a piece of cable, and you hear it go doing. And they had no microphones on. They only had microphones in their suits. So noise can't travel from the vacuum of space into their suits. It can't travel. Noise doesn't travel through a vacuum. Sorry. It's nice talking to you. All right then. Bye bye. Of course.
Because I've got a mate who's well into this David Icke stuff.
All right, but this isn't David Icke, but yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
He's into a bit of all that stuff.
Let me give you one of them first.
All right.
Okay.
And I've done a fair bit of research myself, just because it's interesting, and you know, I want to know what the truth is. But one question, I asked this to my guy who's a flat earther.
All right, okay.
And he couldn't answer it to me. And
it's difficult because we're all becoming teachers, and it's difficult. We haven't all got the answers, and I'll do my best.
So what I want to know is, assuming that the Earth is flat and not round, so if you're flying, so you've got Australia over here, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? And then you've got, say, America over here, theoretically, as far as the round Earth is concerned. Yeah. Britain, America, Australia, Hawaii, for example.
Okay.
Now, if you were flying from Australia to Hawaii, surely it would take a fucking long time if you had to go that way? Which theoretically, if it's flat,
okay,
you have to go that way.
I might be able to explain it a little bit because it's all difficult. I've got a map here.
I did do some research to see like how long it would take to fly from Hawaii to Australia. It's not that long, and I think, well, how then if it's flat?
I've got this map. These are the routes. Let's say like Australia. I mean, like really, it should go around the ball. It should go around the ball, and just. I mean, the quickest way would be to go through Antarctica and back up again. Okay, that's your quickest way. But,
so is this the flat Earth?
Well, no. This is basically that's kind of like what we're saying. This is what happens in reality. I mean, if you're flying from Sydney, you kind of go all the way up to kind of like is that like Los Angeles way, and then back down to to Chile, the South America way.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense on that's a globe map, but it makes perfect sense on like so Sydney going straight the way across. Yeah. It makes perfect sense.
So is this the flat Earth map? I need to look at the flat Earth
you
map.
need to research between the two. It's called. Just type in flat Earth and that.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It is. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And for instance, you can put an app on your phone, and it'll show you all the planes and like in the sky and that, and you see them all above the equator, above. You see all of these planes, but down below you only see like a little bit by Australia, a little bit by South America, and that, and then but you see none travelling the whole ocean, the southern oceans. They disappear.
Do you guys believe then that there's this wall of ice around the flat Earth? Then is that what we're thinking?
Okay, it's a difficult one. This because you know how a beach works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't think water's coming up the beach and falling off.
Yeah.
Because a beach still contains water. Yeah. So do we both believe that water has to be contained?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, it'll just go right. So that's what we believe. We believe that because you've heard it mocked sometimes that the flat Earth, that water would be falling off the edge.
Yeah.
Now we believe that water has to be contained, and there is proof of I don't know. I've got some pictures on there. There is proof. I don't know. No, I haven't put it on there.
I did read about a guy who flew and went. I don't know who it was.
Okay.
Like over this ice land.
That's right. So there is proof of ice cliffs about 200 foot high.
Yeah.
They do exist, but and they go on for like hundreds and hundreds of miles. But we're talking there's thousands of miles to go around. No, there's still ice beaches as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I've not been there. I'm only like kind of. I feel as though that I'm kind of telling you things that are my beliefs, and I hate doing that because I've not been there myself. It's all second-hand knowledge, isn't it? But there is cliffs. We've seen cliffs, and there is beaches, ice beaches, because there's penguins and things.
Yeah.
So there has to be. But water is contained. Have you heard of Admiral Lee Byrd?
Possibly.
Okay, so he's in a news interview, and he went down to Antarctica numerous times, and he's an admiral. Okay, so he's a big chief in the U.S. Navy. Okay, so he took down 3,500 troops down there. Okay, I forget what operation it is. I always seem to get them wrong. Operation something. So he takes all these troops down there, and then they took a plane down there as well, and then he got the plane going, and he flew for so many miles, and he said in a TV interview, he said he come across beyond the South Pole more land bigger than America itself, with more mining and mining opportunities down there. And then just slightly later they brought out the Antarctic Treaty, signed by 53 countries. If you want to go there now, you have to go and get permission from 53 countries, and it'll probably cost you a couple of £1 million, but then you'll only be escorted to, like, let's say 50, 100 miles within the coastline. You can't go off on your own, no.
Yeah.
So that's all very strange, why would that be?
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got legitimate questions to ask.
Yeah. It is interesting, but it's tricky because the thing is, you're taught what you're taught all your life, and it's hard to accept that that's not the case.
Well, that's why I put that on the back. Yeah, I'll let you read it out on that black one. Have a read of that. Have you come across that? Go on, read it out for the viewers.
Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable called cognitive dissonance.
Dissonance, yeah.
And because it is so important to protect the core belief, they will rationalise, ignore, and even deny that it doesn't fit with the core belief. I get that, yeah, I do.
I was struggling with that, and I think that's the problem with a lot of people. You know, like I feel like we've all been indoctrinated into believing something without any proof.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody has got second-hand knowledge of what, you know, of our reality about space and the globe and the Earth. It's all second-hand knowledge. No one's got any proof. You know. Let me grab these ladies here a leaflet. Would you like to grab a leaflet there? You don't have to.
That's fine.
Okay. And if you've got any questions, I'm here.
They believe in flat Earth.
Right,
I've done
would you like
some
to grab one of
research
them?
myself. It
There
is
you go.
interesting.
So,
It is interesting.
let's grab them. Let's get some. Going to be running out of leaflets here. We need someone to hand out leaflets today. So, come on, guys, whoever you are you going to come down and give us a hand? Need leaflets to hang out. I don't even know what it is.
You get some lunch.
All right then, buddy. Nice talking to you. Do you want to grab one of them?
Thank you.
Put one of them away for you. You're right. Harry's still at this.
There's no proof of anything in science. Everything is a theory.
Have you come across it before?
Yeah.
Okay. And your view of it all?
I mean, I don't really. I like. What about the people who are in the space station?
Okay. We don't believe they're there.
You don't believe they're there?
No, because I know the way temperature works in space. Where the International Space Station is, it gets up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. How can they? It's within the thermosphere, the space station.
I don't know, but it's actually really cold in space.
Ah, right. Well, okay. So, do you know the difference between direct heat and radiative heat?
I didn't do thermodynamics.
All right, okay. Well, basically, I mean, direct heat is, I don't know, you put your pan of water, you know, on a cooker, and it starts boiling over. That's direct heat. Radiative heat is that. Okay, so how does that sun? Can you feel it on you? How's that sun getting here?
Well, it's coming through the atmosphere. It's
but there isn't an atmosphere in space.
Star. There is an atmosphere.
It's vacuum of space.
No, but our spherical Earth.
Right, so
I believe
it actually does it through radiative heat, it does, and it travels. So once that radiative heat hits any sort of metal, any satellite, any International Space Station, any rocket, it has to increase and increase and increase. And because there is no air molecules to take it away, it would just melt, because like aluminium and titanium, they melt at below 1,000 degrees Celsius.
But that's not the temperature of the sun outside of the sphere of the Earth.
So
that's not how.
Yeah, but we were talking about the thermosphere.
Yeah, but
As I say, it's 0 degree. It's below 0 degree. No, this is not my science. This is you go to science.com and NASA and all that, and they'll tell you the temperatures of the thermosphere, and it gets up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. So it's a full contradiction. And then you've got Newton's third law. Okay, Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there has to be an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah. So how do rockets propel themselves in space? What are they pushing against?
They're pushing against the resistance of the Earth because they're
Really? But so when they're going sideways, I mean,
no, that's trajectory.
So when
Bernoulli flow.
Right. Okay.
It's like that's Bernoulli flow. So the angle of the wings means that the air pressure is different.
I know you may have learned that somewhere, but what about what about the guys who do the spacewalks on the what are they pushing against when they move around?
Actually, if like the space guy, if he like throws something, momentum means that he moves in the opposite direction.
But still need a opposite reaction.
That is, his opposite reaction is him moving. So if you like throw your keys, then you move.
Do you have to do it all the time?
Well, no, he's got like a jetpack which has
jetpacky. Right, so he's not moving. He's just releasing gas.
Yeah, but he is moving because the force of like pushing it out is like.
How can you verify any of that? What you've just been?
Because you can test it on planet Earth
really?
as well.
Really? Because I've been searching for quite a while and I haven't seen any of this.
But you can prove that you can't disprove that the third law exists because like that's what happens when you like.
Oh no, I'm just see. I don't believe any of it anyway. I mean, like I don't believe for a second that anything is up there. You know, like even for satellites and your GPS, your phone. Because most people think that these phones are going up in space. They're actually just going to a cell tower. That's all they're doing.
But how would that work? Like,
in what way?
How would
because 99% of all communications are undersea cables. That submarines lay in that. It's submersible cables. That's all it is. You can check that out yourself. All your communications is 99%. We've never had any need for satellites up there. All your communications is down here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not necessarily a need for them, but it is more. I think it's more.
You think it's plausible that they're there?
Why
Have you ever seen a satellite in space?
Well, no, because like neither of you haven't seen that.
Yeah, you see a light, but you can't tell the distance how far they are. Yeah, that's right. You see some sort of light there. Can it be because they do have satellites attached to high altitude balloons?
But they move, right?
Yeah.
they do move.
That's why I said high altitude balloons. I mean, and you can check that yourself. I mean, like, I think
don't think-
Google has just brought one out called Project Loom. You know, so you can check that. They've got their own satellite. And
If this is true, that it is,
Okay.
where do you go from there? Like, what are you?
well,
what's your aim?
our aim right now is to just get you to watch a couple of videos. There's a website on that leaflet there. There's some videos to watch, and we just want people to rethink this. What you've been indoctrinated to believe with no proof.
But
You
is
know,
that,
because let's say that I'm an alien. I've just arrived, and I say, you know, like, is this a flat Earth? Is it a globe? Can you prove it to me? Where'd you go from that?
but like, why, like, if it was true and we were being,
You're glossing over that. What I just said.
Like-
Go on, prove it to me.
but I don't think
Please.
What was
You
the?
can't prove.
You can't prove
Right,
anything,
and
you
that's
can
what we're
just
saying.
prove it.
And that's what we're saying. We're just saying for, you know, like, because we've grown up, you know, like at the age of 5 years of age, you've been given this globe. Same time when you started believing in Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy and things, you know, like, and then all of a sudden, like, you believe in this globe. But where's this proof? Where's this evidence? And then later on in life and all that, and, you know, you give away your Santa Claus beliefs and that, but you hold on to the beliefs of a globe. But again, I ask you, where can we find this proof?
There is an awful lot of evidence, but I don't also see a lot of evidence for this. I don't think you can.
Okay, can I show you one bit of evidence? It's on the back of that. This is spherical trigonometry. Okay, it's based on Pythagorean's theorem. Okay, and so there has to be a calculation for the Earth's drop. You would agree with that?
Well, that, like, Pythagoras' theorem only really applies in, like, you
Spherical
can't-
trigonometry does reply to that, and you can check that online. So it's
Yeah.
8 inches per squared mile. It drops. Okay, so at 8 inches per squared mile, this the person who took this for the Blackpool Gazette and that, he was stood on the promenade, and he took this picture, and you can see the Isle of Man. That's 65 miles away, but based on this curvature chart, it's meant to be hidden by 2,500 feet. Okay, the highest mountain is 2,000 feet. Why can we see these mountains and objects, and even lighthouses not? Why can we see them over these large distances? We shouldn't be able to see them. They're over the drop. They're hidden. That one there is 273 miles longest distance photo. It should be 3 miles. I mean, can you imagine how big 3 miles high is? And now all of that should be hidden below the curvature. So I think
that these are like averages of like how the Earth curves.
Well,
I think that because the Earth is actually
okay.
not, like,
Well,
an
let's
average
say it's an average of 2 miles then.
No, but I mean, like, the
Right.
average. So, like, that's assuming that, like, that
Everywhere is
is the same
you know what I mean? Like,
elevation.
whereas it goes like
All
it
I'm
goes
saying
like
is that could that be enough for you to go to a website and just research further?
I
I think we'll
mean,
probably discuss it on the way
we'd
home.
probably discuss it.
Oh, that's brilliant. And discuss it with a few people. But there's a couple of websites there. And
I think, to be honest, discussion's good. I guess I'm just concerned about your motives,
Like, as to
like,
why.
just to watch a video.
but why? Like,
Is it, like, monetized?
Is it an anti-government thing? Like, if the government's lying to us about this, is this
Well, there you go. I mean, like, do you believe in the moon
What is
landings?
the?
Well, yeah, I do.
You do.
Believe in the moon landings.
So okay.
Interested. What else
So
is going on?
so on the moon landing, can you tell
We
me?
asked
can
you what your motives
Oh yeah, I'm
were,
getting there.
so-
Okay. Well,
Money.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
I mean, one of the motives is like maybe NASA. They get £53 million per day. Okay, NASA is.
So you're concerned.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, like, do you not think that's if this is all a lie, that's a criminal act? I mean, all the people that are starving and hungry around the world. Do you think that would be a criminal act? And the fact that most people's beliefs are all based on what NASA gives us. Beliefs.
I don't think it's all from NASA.
Okay. Well, then,
NASA
could you
was
tell me?
founded because of individual
Could you tell me what the other reason would be?
For what?
I mean, like that. Why we believe that we live on a globe? You're saying because I actually think most of it comes from NASA. But could you verify
I
anything?
don't think NASA's an organisation. I don't think you can really attribute like all our knowledge to NASA. They're founded out of our knowledge, not the other way around.
Sorry, say that again.
Well,
That
I don't
didn't-
Because NASA wasn't made to feed us knowledge; it was formed out of.
It was
Gradual
formed out of
years of
knowledge,
knowledge,
so
you
we
know what I
can't
mean?
like
Like,
attribute NASA.
Okay, well, do you know Van Braun is? Van Braun? He was the head of, NASA a while back. He was, and he was a Nazi scientist, so like when Germany fell, basically they took all the scientists and then they formed NASA, okay? And you can check that out for yourself.
Is that, like, what, is that mean like NASA is like?
So what we're saying is that, I mean, NASA isn't a good thing, what you might think. We know that NASA is purely here to deceive all of these people, just to deceive people. That's what NASA's for.
And do you think that about the other space agencies as well?
Yeah, to deceive people, 100%. Oh God, I've got to tie that back today.
Are you not concerned about the language you're using though? So if NASA is using all this language, like you should believe this, you're saying exactly the same thing about the opposite thing.
Yeah, well,
debate.
Okay, can I throw one more thing in there? Because you're quite right. I normally start this. For everyone, don't believe a word that we're saying. Go and research it yourselves afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I should always put that disclaimer there because, yeah, you're dead right.
Do you know what I mean? Like we need
Definitely, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
All right then, nice talking to you both. I'm really worried that's going to come down. Can I give you a leaflet there? There you go. Would you like one? All right, and if any of you got any questions, there you go. You're okay? You know where you are in this world. All right, that's good. Because I haven't got a clue. I've been trying to prove it for ages. Haven't got a clue. Hi guys. As you can see, Harry's at it again. See over my shoulder there. Oh, getting a little bit of interest today, but the wind keeps catching our stands. So a little bit dangerous it is, I think. But yeah, we're doing okay. First day out on the tour. What's that, like 50, 56 more locations to go? So we're getting there, all right then. You all right? Oh, do you want a leaflet? Okay, sorry. Okay. Right.
But Robert Simmons at the end,
Oh, there's a guy. Do you want one of them? Yeah, you okay? Right.
Yeah, I like some common thing.
Right. Oh. Would you like a leaflet there?
Yeah, go for it.
There you go. All right. If anyone's got any questions, I'd be only more than happy to respond. Oh yeah, so we're getting quite a good turnout. Oh, I think we're pretty good location. We haven't been moved yet. Very worried about the stand. Got nothing to tie it against. Oh. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, my number one evidence for you. Well, I mean, well, there's lots of evidence, but number one evidence. Let's say I normally always start that on the back. Okay. Yeah. So let's say that we're in Promenade on Blackpool Promenade. Yeah. On a good clear day, you can see the Isle of Man. Okay, and that was put in the Blackpool Gazette. That's 65 miles away. Now you'd know that would be some sort of mathematical formula for the curvature of the Earth. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's Pythagorean's theorem. I'm just waiting for that to drop. Spherical trigonometry, okay? Right. And it drops 8 inches per squared mile. So it goes 8 inches, and then I believe it's 32 inches, 72 inches, and then it just keeps getting more and more. Right. But over 65 miles away, using this formula, 2,500 feet should be hidden. So you shouldn't see any of this because the highest mountain is Snaefell, okay, and that's 2,000 feet. Shouldn't be seeing any of that.
Right, okay.
So that's kind of like one bit of evidence. And even the White Cliffs of Dover, on a good clear day, you can see the White Cliffs of Dover. And you should only see the very top of the White Cliffs of Dover. It shouldn't be seen, they should be hidden under the curvature. On the bottom there, that's 273 miles of missing, or 3 miles of missing curvature based on 200. It's the world's longest distance photograph.
Okay.
So that's kind of like our number one evidence is kind of lands that, well, we shouldn't be seeing this land. And even lighthouses over large distances, these lighthouses shouldn't be seen by ships. They're on the ground as well. These lighthouses should be over the curvature.
When photos are taken of the Earth from space.
On space, I implore you to look at them again with a bit more of a critical eye against other photos, and you'll see some quite startling differences. For instance, that one there is NASA's official image, 2012 and 2013.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see a problem with it? Look at the size of America.
Okay, yeah.
It's a huge difference. It can't shrink or grow. And then there's so many. I'd need a Bible here to show you all the other anomalies. But if you go and research all the photos of Earth that you've ever seen, you'll find that most of them it's just CGI Photoshop pictures. Okay, and before it was CGI Photoshop, they could paint images of the globe that you would think that are just as real as. I mean, I don't know if you've seen famous people painting cans of Coke, and you swear blind, like with dripping with moisture and all that. Yeah, they can paint what they want.
So really, that's what you're saying.
Well, we're using this as a description of how close we think the moon and the sun would be and how it would actually work on a flat Earth. We don't know if there's an edge. We don't know if it goes on infinitely forever. We're not allowed to go there. There's an Antarctic treaty that's been set up in 1953 that says that you're not allowed to go there. I'm not allowed to go there. You have to get 53 signatures from all of these different countries, probably have a couple of £1 million in your bank, and then when you get there, you're just escorted around the coastline.
So is there anything else in the universe or within the galaxy, the Milky Way, that is flat?
It's like, how can we verify any of that? Because, I mean, where are these photos? Where is this evidence? They talk about black holes, they talk about wormholes and things. They talk about distant planets and all that, but all of this is theories. There's no evidence and no proof that any of this exists. But and the infinite of space. But like, how can we verify it? And they can't verify it. It's just a thought process, and someone's imagined it, and then because there's a bit of a pull over there, what they say is gravity's pulling this and something's pulling that. We think it's all rubbish, complete and utter rubbish, because they can't prove to any one of us that all of these things happen. Like up there, there is no proof.
So what about when you see photographs? Again, photographs where you look.
It's difficult when people say photographs.
Okay, you've got the ozone there, and it shows
the curvature. That's a good point. Okay, so when we see NASA photos and all that, we see this huge big curvature. Okay, and you're quite right. Like GoPros, they have a fish-eyed lens. Yeah. Okay, so when we send amateur cameras up, we get to see a flat Earth. All amateur photography that doesn't use these ridiculous fish-eye lens.
You could argue that that's just zoomed in photographs.
Well, you could,
so you're not going to see the full.
You could, yeah. I mean, like as I said before to that few girls before, don't believe a word that I'm saying. Go and check all the other amateur footage and all that, and you see complete. As this thing spins round, it's just completely flat everywhere. There is no curvature up there, and you're quite right. There should be. When you get up to this height, there should be tons of curvature to be seen, and there isn't. No one can prove any. Some people say, "Oh, I've seen the curvature," and we ask, "Well, have you evidenced that? Have you taken a photograph? Could you show us?"
Okay, but then the argument there is where's the proof that that's not just a zoomed-in photo?
Again, that's what I say. You can only go online and just check that out for yourself. I don't want to win an argument here on the street because it's a mute thing. I don't expect you to believe anything that I'm saying.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, so just go online and check it out for yourself. Amateur footage of the Earth, So, but we've got other 101 different reasons on why we know that we live on a flat Earth. I know the way a compass works. Let's say that I'm in Australia. So I'm in Australia. Where would I point for north? Where would north be if I'm in Australia? I'd have to tip my compass up and then I'd have to aim it down to the ground, because that's where north would be if I'm in Australia, wouldn't it be? So why would I go anywhere if I was in Australia? Do you see what I'm saying? So compasses only work on a flat Earth.
No, compass works on a magnetic field then, doesn't it?
So you think it's is it how high is the magnetic field? Do I point up? Do I point?
Is running down through the core of the Earth.
Again, you just said something. The core of the Earth. How can we prove that? The furthest that we've ever drilled is 8 miles. We haven't got a clue what's underneath there. No one has. But you've got the same sort of education as me, and I was 100% believe. Of course we got a core. Of course we got a magna. Of course we got all of this. But where's this evidence? It doesn't exist. There is no scientific equipment can prove that there's an iron core down there surrounded by lots of magma.
Okay. Interesting.
It's interesting. So what we're saying on there's a leaflet with a website saying FE Start.
Yeah.
We just want you guys to think for yourself, you know, like hopefully with a cup half empty, you know, like if you do it with a cup full, it's, yeah, you know, you're just wasting your time. Don't go there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, nice one. Good luck.
All right. Sorry, you had a question.
So how deep do you reckon the Earth is then? By your calculations.
How deep do I think it is?
Yes.
I don't know. I've got no proof to that whatsoever. No one has.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I know, what's it? People believe that it's 24,900 miles circumference, but like, I mean, like, no one can prove what's actually inside the middle. You know.
So how would you make a round trip around the world?
Okay,
if
so
it was flat?
like this, just like that. I just circumnavigated you, and you don't look like a ball to me.
At which point would be the centre?
You. I just went round you.
Yes.
You were north. You were the North Pole, and I just went round
Okay.
you. And all of
That's
this
fine.
is Antarctica.
So North Pole, you can go round in a circle, but then if you go to America,
Okay.
you can still go round in a circle. If you go to Australia, you can still go round in a circle.
Yeah. So we're talking circles. We're not talking globes.
No,
Okay.
Not talking globes, we're
Yeah.
talking circles. So you can still go in a circle
Yeah.
without seeing what would essentially be the edge of the world.
Okay.
Yes?
Mhm.
No matter where you go,
Okay.
you'll be able to do a full circle.
Yes.
Whichever way.
Yeah, yeah. If you're going round. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
could go
yeah,
that
yeah,
way round,
yeah.
that way
but
round.
but I know the way a gyroscope works. So I know that you can't go round a ball because airplanes don't fly. They fly to. Sorry, they don't fly. Of course they fly. They fly with a gyroscope. Okay. So a gyroscope. The newer ones now they use MEMS technology, same as your phones and all that. It's all based on inertia and something. But the older ones, a bit more mechanical on that, use vacuum pressure and this, that, and the other. Anyway, so when an aeroplane ascends and then flies along and then descends, okay, that gyroscope will stay level all the way from here, London, all the way to Australia. It will not dip because the pilot would have to be. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to tie that back. Yeah, so a pilot would have to keep dipping his nose every sort of like, I think it's like every 5 miles or so. He'd have to keep doing that because it's a ball, right? But this doesn't happen in any aeroplane. No pilot, he sets his autopilot, he stays level, he carries on going level. And now the new technology with your MIMS device, okay? I thought, was it in there or in your backpack? We did bring one. So with this new technology now, we just had a guy called D Marble. He went up on an airplane, he took your phone, put a bubble on his phone, okay? You see it ascending, goes up, then he goes across, and then it stays level all the way and then goes down. So that MIMS device does not know that there's a ball to go around. Okay, and yet on a 24-hour plug, you know, like them timers. I set my phone up and I made a little cradle. I put my phone on that 24-hour timer, and I filmed that going right the way round that for the whole 24 hours, and you can see that bubble will invert. So how does my phone know the difference between my lounge and D Marble's aeroplane that it was on? It wouldn't know the difference.
Yes, but as people, we do.
Yeah, right. So you're kind of glossing over the fact that, you know, like the MIMS device itself, it can't possibly know.
Technology is flawed, sure.
Well, no, I think it's actually working really well. I think it's the fact that people can't get their brains around it. You know, like, I don't mean that to offend, and I know it does occasionally. Sorry.
That's fine.
You know, like, yeah, I believe that it's kind of like our indoctrination, that we are filled with such an amount of assumptions and beliefs with no verification of any of this. You know, like, so there's so much of this. I mean, like, you believe that you've probably seen your first globe at the age of 5 years of age or something?
Probably.
Same time as Santa?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, Santa, tooth fairy and all of this lot. And then you give away them ideas, but you kept on to the globe. But nothing else was ever presented to you. Maybe photographs from space that we could probably prove and have them analysed that they're all CGI, photoshopped fakes. And I could...
But then, so the proof for a flat Earth, there would have to be an edge.
Well,
that's how all things work. Unless the Earth is infinite, it has to.
Okay,
have
so
an edge.
we just talked about that. Okay, so that's one of the proofs. I mean, like, it's kind of one of the evidence. I won't say proof, so I would say evidence. You know, because I think proof is a little bit strong, isn't it? It's evidence.
Evidence is strong as well for both fronts on that.
Yeah,
No
of course.
evidence.
Well, you're being fair then, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so I mean, basically, we see all of these. I mean, like, land that you shouldn't be able to see. 3 miles under the curvature, that's what that should be. 3 miles, why can we see this? I mean, it doesn't make sense that we should be able to see stuff, you know, like over these vast distances.
So wouldn't that be down to the human eye and technology as to the distance that we can perceive, opposed to, you know, whether there's a curvature? Because the if there is a curvature, it's ever so slight.
Yeah, it's 8 inches per square mile.
Exactly.
Okay, so even looking at let's say 15 miles, let's say.
Yeah.
So I can stand. I've got a place where I live called Brixham, and I can stand on on the promenade there, and I can look across 15 miles, and I can see the beach at Exmouth, you know, with my camera and that. That's 15 miles, but that beach should be hidden under 40 feet. It's only 40 feet, but I shouldn't be able to see the beach. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like 40 feet. Where would that be? Maybe that alarm up there or something. Would that be about 40 feet? Would it be a bit higher?
Yeah, probably a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. But you see what I'm saying? I shouldn't be able to see that beach, but I can see it all. I can see people on the beach.
What height are you standing at for the photo?
I think. I'm kind of. I'm just thinking. I'm probably about a metre above. About a metre.
Okay.
A metre above. And so based on that, as I say, I did my calculations and all that based on that metre put in there and all that. I think it was about 40 feet it came to. You know, like we've got lots of this evidence. We keep seeing land that you shouldn't be able to see, but we've got 101 different reasons. You know, like why. You know,
yeah.
And so I always say, I give you a leaflet, didn't I? Yeah. So I'm always saying this. Don't believe anything we're saying. Go and watch a few videos on that. FE Start. Watch a few videos. Use your own discernment. Your own try and use critical thinking, because a lot of people don't know what it is and don't use that. They just kind of gloss over. Oh, that was good, and don't really concentrate and think about things. You know, like do a bit of critical thinking, watch a few videos, and you know the word debunk?
Yes.
And debunk it. If you can debunk it, because that's why I become a flat earther, just trying to debunk all of this. You know, last year I was at the same stance where you are now, thinking, because some things kind of made sense, and then I thought, and then I wanted to disprove it because it seems stupid, some of it. And that's kind of where I was standing at it. And like, but if you watch that video with your cup half empty, you know, like
yes.
If you go to it with a cup all full, and then you know you're not going to, you won't be.
So for a flat Earth, where is the centre?
Okay.
Under your assumption.
Okay, so.
Opposed to evidence.
Well, the north is the centre. The North Pole is the centre.
So where's the South Pole in correlation?
Okay, so
there is.
It's everywhere all around you. Everywhere. So in any direction point, that's south. In every direction. So based on... Sorry, I'm ready to run for that thing.
It's fine. Stay ready.
What it is... right. So we say this... and then south is in every direction.
Yes, but we have a secondary pole, so like certain animals live on the North Pole.
But you say that, but how I mean... You know that if you go online, you can see the 24-hour sun in the northern part of the hemisphere. Okay, I think the most famous ones are mostly from Sweden and Denmark area and that. And you can see they've got people up there and they film in the 24-hour sun and they watch it go all the way around and they see an actual sun go around. It looks amazing. Go on YouTube and see that. It's amazing. And there's loads of people videoed this. There's tons of it.
Mainly in summer due to the
that's right. Yeah. And that's brilliant. So we don't have this in the south. There is no 24-hour sun.
No,
it doesn't.
Because under the assumption that it's utter tilt, it is utter tilt. So the south has
tilt to what?
Okay, yes. But then even if the Earth is flat, I won't say flat, disc shaped. Disc shaped small fair, it has got an under to a degree. So that circling the sun is how we get seasons.
Okay. And then that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because 93 million miles away, and then at its closest point, 91 million miles away. That's a 2 million mile difference. Okay. Do we feel that?
Yes, considerably.
You think we feel that 2 million mile difference, and it's kind of back to front?
Yes.
We should have our summer in the winter.
But depending on where you are in the world.
Because if it comes closer. If that is making a difference, 2 million miles, and it's closer, surely it should be affecting the whole planet?
No.
Yeah, we're here.
I'll finish within 2 seconds.
No, okay.
Conversation. So under the assumption, there are no seasons.
Oh no, we do believe the seasons, and it works so much better on a flat Earth.
Okay, so how?
Okay,
how would you have seasons
because
something that doesn't encircle the sun?
All right, can I show you on this one over here?
Yeah.
So what it is, So we believe that, like the seasons, you know, like so in our winter and it's their summer, we believe that the sun is circular on the outside.
So the sun circles us.
All right. Okay. So and in our summer, it starts getting in closer and closer and closer, and then because it's getting in closer, and we can see that 24-hour sun, it becomes their winter everywhere else, and that fits. That fits perfect. Seasons work much better on a flat Earth than they do on a globe.
So, okay, no, I'm a seafarer.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
So yeah.
So when we navigate on a chart,
it's nice talking to you. Really, thank you very much.
When we navigate on a chart, we go great circle.
Yes.
Not run line.
Okay. Right.
Because a great circle is a globe.
Yeah.
And it's the quickest way between 2 points.
Yeah. Okay.
True.
I'm not going to say that.
You have a globe.
Yeah.
Piece of string from A to B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line.
Yeah.
It's a great circle.
That's because you believe you're on the globe. I don't accept that.
So, how can we navigate on a run line and not get from A to B?
So if that's north, if you're north, okay, and
it's got nothing to do with north and south. If you have a globe and have A and B.
We haven't got a globe. That's what I'm saying.
If you have a globe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I believe that. Okay, once upon a time.
Okay, the quickest way between the 2 points is a great circle.
Yeah.
When we have a flat map, okay, we don't go on a straight line.
That's right, and you still don't on a flat Earth. Okay.
Well, of course you would.
Well, no, because you won't let me speak.
You'd have a straight line across between 2 points.
But because you won't let me speak, then you kind of win an argument because you won't let me answer you. So what I was saying is that if this gentleman here is north, okay.
Nothing to do about north.
Well, yeah, well, you say you still won't let me finish. Thank you. So this guy is north. So again, you see, walk away. Basically, what we're saying is that this is east, okay. So east is to my right, okay. But if I'm still pointing to north, east will always. This will be west.
What he was trying to say, even though. He's saying if you actually navigate, you don't go in a straight line, and you get there quicker because you take.
And that's what and that's what I was saying as well.
Curve of the Earth, where if it was a flat Earth, by taking that curve, you would be going further. So it wouldn't work.
No,
the fact that it does work, it proves it's a globe.
It doesn't prove that. And I was just trying to.
That was this chap's argument. I'm not.
You know what? I haven't even finished my argument. I've been cut off at every opportunity.
Jason, nobody listened to you.
Yeah, no. So as I said, I mean, like we do not sail in a straight line. I don't know where you got that from, but like, what's it? If this happens to be west, okay, or east, wherever it was, and then I'm pointing west at all times. I'm still pointing west, so therefore we're not going in these straight lines. We're always doing this slight curvature, as that gentleman said, but he didn't let me finish.
Yes,
and you sail around the continents. You don't go in a straight line.
No one goes in a straight line. We sail around the continents.
Well, if you're sailing, you can't go in a straight line because of the land masses.
But airplanes don't fly straight either.
Well, they tend to.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know nobody's ever circumnavigated.
Did you get a leaflet before? Oh, you did.
So,
nobody's circumnavigated.
my main question with it,
go on, go for it.
Came over.
I mean, I don't really know much. I'm saying.
What about the edge?
Interesting. I don't really.
The edge?
The edge.
Okay.
There's an edge. If it's flat, there's an edge.
I don't really know enough.
I don't know.
I just use it.
So there must be. If
no.
Instead of a
no.
globe, it's a disc or.
No. I will speak if I can. Right. Okay. So no, we don't believe that there's an edge or anything.
Right.
We both accept that water has to be contained. Would we both accept that? If there was an edge, it would just fall off.
If there was an edge, it would fall
off. So water has to be contained. So I believe that as well. So I imagine you must believe that as well. It must be contained in some form. Okay, so if water has to be contained, we believe that that there is water don't fall off beaches. Okay, so if there's a steady incline of beaches and all that, so water doesn't fall off. Okay, so we also know, and there is photographic evidence of 200-foot ice walls as well. Okay, so there is evidence of that. But along with beaches and things, like in Antarctica. Okay, so. Let me get to Admiral E. Byrd. He went down to Antarctica. Okay, he took down 3,500 troops, and when he got to the South Pole, he got all the way to the South Pole. He says, and this is on, you can go on YouTube now. This is in a black and white. I think it's called the Longaleans TV program. It was an interview that he was having, and he says that there is more land, an abundance of more land, bigger than the size of America, with beyond the South Pole, with more mineral and mining opportunities, to be mined there. That's what he says in an interview. I say he took 3,500 troops, and you can see his interview. You can go on Wikipedia and all sorts, and you can read all about it and that. So he says this. Okay, I was always brought up to think that space.
He's a nation. Which nation
Admiral.
does he represent?
Sorry, America.
American, yeah.
USA. Okay. So I was always brought to think that space was infinite, and no one's ever proved this to anybody.
Well, it can't
you know,
be
like,
proved,
and there you go. It cannot be proved. So why can't land be infinite? You know, like so like what he says. You know, like why can't it be infinite? Why can't it go on?
It's a physical thing. It can't.
Yeah, that's our. And why is that? What's the scientific process to say it can't, other than my indoctrination?
But if land was infinite, if we would go on discovering more and more of it, and you're saying he's discovered this beyond the South Pole.
When he did this, they set up the Antarctic Treaty, signed by 53 nations around the world, 53 countries. Okay, that forbids me and you going there. Now, if you do want to go there, you can get appeal to these 53 countries, get signatures off them all, and I think you have to have about £2 million in the bank and all that, and then you're escorted around the coast, and that's all you get to see is the coast of the South Pole. No one goes to the South Pole.
If the South Pole is the rim of the flat Earth.
Okay, yeah.
To go round it, in fact, you're going inside it, aren't you, rather than round it, because obviously the North Pole.
Very good.
But that's going to be a colossal distance, and it isn't.
And that's what Captain Cook actually thinks. He said he thought. You can't. Oh, please don't quote me on the distances. But he was expecting a particular amount of distance when he was supposedly going around Antarctica, and he did it. I think it was about 12 times the distance or something. It was a colossal amount of. He did it over. He did it over so many more years. That's what you said. Please don't quote me on the figures. I can't remember that. But look at Captain Cook's Antarctica expedition. You know, if you look at that, you'll think that's wrong. That can't be right. Either they've done something wrong, or they've been holidaying at every port along the way. But it's silly, that is.
And then what would be the other thing is why? Why would we be lied to about this? Who's game?
See, that's. I can give you.
I'm quite pleased to accept all sorts.
Yeah. I can give you a few of my theories because no one's ever been held accountable. You know, like so we haven't had a court process or anything.
No.
So I can give you a few theories. So we just talked about Admiral E. Byrd and possibility of more land.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big deal. More land, and the fact that we are all contained because we can't go exploring. There won't be any explorers and all that because you would think that in order to explore you'd have to be an astronaut to get off of this planet.
Yeah.
But like if there is more land, okay, that's kind of like one big reason, okay. Other people think that if you believe in this ball Earth that you sit on and all that, and some people believe in evolution and you know like about creationism and things, you know, like so a lot of people are religious and they form an opinion based on we're on a kind of globe. But if we are on a flat Earth and it was designed and it is we do have creator or create is this all that's being hidden from us? You know, like is God being hidden from us? I'm not religious, I'm an agnostic, by the way. I'm just putting that out there because quite a lot of flat earthers, they are religious and they believe that they believe they're hiding God.
When the theories changed from being flat to being a globe, it was religion that was trying to prevent that theory being put forward, wasn't it? Because the original sort of religious view was, of course,
we know that there's
sun and moon going around us and not us going around that.
All we're trying to do here today is just get you to question it a little, because you believe that you lived on the globe probably at the age of 5, same as me or something, and then you go through life and that not question about it. And most of us don't. And then later on in life you start seeing films about it and TV about Earth and pictures of space and rockets and all that, but we've never actually seen a proper photograph of the Earth. You think you have, but like if you believe these photographs, then you have to believe. There's a prime example in there. You have to believe in NASA's official 2012 photograph of Earth and 2013. Go on to NASA's. I thought they were kidding, so I went onto NASA's website and I seen it for myself. That's South America. Sorry, that's America.
That's Central America, yeah.
Now, I know you've got the same eyes as me and think that there's a problem there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's clearly what they've done there. It's a closer picture, but they've cropped off the outside of it, haven't they?
You know, I never give
But
that a
why?
thought. So they could crop a circle round
So
it,
if they've taken a
but why?
picture
It
of
just
it,
seems
but why?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all we're saying is that don't believe anything that I'm saying. We're just saying, is it? Can we offer enough information for people to just question it again themselves? Because.
But it's the why if it's so much, you know, obviously there's a certain amount of effort in misleading people or whether they're misleading, but
Yeah.
putting forward a certain view that it is.
Yeah.
And to do that much effort, there must be a reason.
Yeah.
So what is the reason?
Well, again, until we get, I mean, I can throw just a few of them ideas there, but they're only theories. What I'm giving, you know, what them reasons are. It's too big. Well, when I can see land that I shouldn't be able to see, that bit's not a theory. I mean, I shouldn't be seeing these long distance lands.
Well,
that's not a theory.
But
that's factual evidence.
If you get when you're in a 30,000 feet in an aircraft.
Yeah, you can see the curvature. Yeah. So all amateur footage and all that, and if you speak to quite a lot of pilots and all that, and there's lots of evidence of flat earthers speaking to pilots, and they're telling you it's flat. You know. And you can watch them YouTube videos. They're on there of pilots speaking.
Watch all sorts of things on YouTube.
Well, there you go. But nice talking to you. Yeah, research it. You all right, buddy? I think we've got a flat earther here.
I knew you were here, so I came down and just to see what was going on and stuff, because I was just at Cornwall, so I live at Newcastle, so on the way up, thought I'd stop up.
Got it. Oh, well done. Well done. Excellent. Are you sort of known to a lot of flat earthers online channel name or anything?
Well, I watch Roxanne and all that. So,
do you?
And like use like Harry and stuff, and where I am.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Pleased to meet you.
Yes.
Sorry, my
dog. No, that's all right. Travis.
There you go, Roxanne. You got a fan here.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
His dog's trying to eat Harry's dog. Oh, that's brilliant. That's really good. That's hopeful. We were hoping that a few people might turn up.
I've just been at Cornwall, Newquay.
Right.
And I live at Newcastle, so on the way up, I thought I'd.
I think we're popping into Newcastle.
Yes, check it out.
Can we see you again in Newcastle when we get there?
I've looked at all the list at where you're going to be, and I'll come and meet you at Newcastle as well.
That's brilliant.
And
you'll give us a hand then?
Of course I would.
Oh, brilliant.
I try and do it all the time, but you know what people are like.
Yeah.
Like I'm just down Newquay there with my friends, and they won't have any of it. They do not want to talk about it, and I'm just like, really, you know, like.
Sometimes friends and family are the worst.
Hardest.
I have lost a couple of friends, as other people have as well. I've found out.
Well, I lost a few, but they're slowly coming back.
In a way, yeah. But. Come on, you know what
I know what you're saying. Well,
there's a lot of people who just.
If you want to say hello to Roxanne now, she'll be watching.
Sweet.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So when are you going back up the road?
I'll be heading off soon. I just thought I'd.
Did you get a leaflet as well?
I got a little card.
All right, you can have that as well then. All right.
Now my
YouTube thing. It was my name before, but now it's Flat Earth Trav.
Oh, right.
Like before, it was just Travis and then my last name. I'm
Great to meet you, man.
Oh yeah. You too,
I see you got the Flat Earth 101 shirt as well.
From the website.
Oh, brilliant. They'll be chuffed because we speak to them about.
You know the little cards as well. I've got a bunch of them, and I try and hand them out as much as I can. And
excellent.
If they want to listen, they want to listen. But
yeah,
you know,
it's a good. It's a conversation provoker, isn't
it?
You know, that's what it is.
Yeah. And actually, as well, I was when I was in Newquay yesterday. I left this morning, but yesterday I met another flat earther.
Yeah, right.
And,
if you've any questions, give us a shout.
And he just came up to us.
Whoa.
And he just randomly came up to us and said,
"Oh, sorry."
Turn the camera off.
Oh yeah. I'll move that. I'll face it to me because it is a. Right, he's aiming at me.
Oh God, I want it.
Right, go ahead.
It's probably a very silly question, but in theory, it's flat.
Okay.
And I don't believe it is. But
No.
I'm not.
Every flat earther will where you're coming from.
So you said if a plane flies to Australia and then it comes back,
yeah, how
it
does
goes.
Yeah, if it's not a globe, how can it do Australia back to here? You know what a question is.
Yeah, possibly. Look, I mean, if I'm circumnavigating you, you've heard of this one where I'm just going round, okay? So we believe that you are north, you're in the centre, okay? So what happens is when an airplane's going, okay, it ascends. No. So I was just I was just trying to get. Just trying to speak about how aeroplanes that kind of work, sort of thing. Like so when it ascends and it flies flat and level. So from here all the way to Australia, it will stay level all the way to Australia, and then it will descend. And there's no measured of it going over a ball. Yeah, okay.
If it keeps flowing, then end up back here.
Because it circumnavigates around the Earth. So let's say, yeah. No, that's all right. Okay, it's probably best that I kind of show you over here. So if this is Australia, okay. So this is Australia. So what actually happens is that if it's going. Where would you be going? North Australia to where? Did you say here? Okay, so to here. So there's a.
I think I've checked it out.
And does that? And do they do that? Because that's the problem, because you're right. I mean, I can
take off in the side direction.
And they just come back the same way, don't they? What they go over? Well, to keep going, that means that they're going over the South Pole. But no airplane goes over the South Pole.
No, because Australia is the South Pole.
So that's what I'm saying. But from here to go in a kind of on a ball, to go over in a straight line and go over, and then keep coming back, it has to go over Australia and then up over the South Pole and then back again. So
that only works efficiently.
Okay. I think. Well, from here, I think is it New Zealand or something? Is right below us.
I don't know. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, it's just a hard one to get in my head. We're all doing imagining things.
No, I mean,
I'm trying to.
Absolutely. The poles are obviously 12 and 6.
Okay.
But if she didn't want the 10 and 4.
Yeah.
She didn't want the camera.
I want to put it on.
If they're flying 10 to a 4,
yes.
they wouldn't have to fly.
So I think based on what you're saying, I mean, see, it's difficult unless I got a globe to show as well. Because I kind of like to see. I mean, because we're talking about that'd be China, wouldn't it? So from the UK and kind of going over China and then back there. I mean, you're saying that it would carry on and it keeps going right round, but where's this evidence? So I mean.
Where's the evidence it doesn't?
Well, I can't prove a negative. I don't know how to prove a negative. Yeah. So yeah, we can prove positives. But yeah. So I can't prove either. You kind of yeah.
That was the answer.
Yeah. No, that's right. It's something that can't be proved. I don't think so. I mean. It's a hypothetical sort of thing, unless we get someone on an airplane to actually prove this.
But they must have done.
Well, what we do know is that there is no airplanes that, let's say, go over the South Pole. I mean, because we've got lots of airplanes that go over the North Pole, but they don't go over the South Pole. It's like, why? Where's this evidence? There is a 24-hour sun. I don't know if he mentioned that. If you go up to the north, you can film it 24 hours, and you can. Sorry, I'll try and keep you. It's facing me still. So you've got this 24-hour sun, and you can film it going up. But when you get to the South Pole, there's meant to be a 24-hour South Pole sun, but there's no footage on no footage anywhere to see that. And that should exist. I mean, and there's so much footage of the north.
Around is true. Hopefully someone will prove that at some point. What are you going to do if they prove it?
What we're going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I can probably go back to bed. I mean, that'd be. Look, all we're trying to do at the moment is trying to get people to critically think and go to a couple of websites and use your own discernment and don't believe a word that we're saying and to use your own critical. Because when you start believing in that on that ball Earth, like from the ages of 5, that's it. We've kind of glossed over and we've all switched off.
I'm happy to try and be convinced if something else is true.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, do you know the word debunk? Well, I didn't know what that word was. Sorry. So I kind of I tried to. I did 4.5 months of trying my best. Sorry.
I've heard of it. I'm not sure I know.
Yeah. I mean, just to prove something wrong. You know, like I tried 4.5 months to debunk this. You know, like, and kind of failed miserably. You know, and that might be lack of education. But there's so much evidence. There's so much evidence. You know, so it looks as though that you're open-minded enough, and you know, to check things out. Your cup's half empty. A lot of people, that's not with a lot of people. It's cup's already full. So. Yeah. But there's it's like, I mean, we have this idea that water can stick to a ball. You know, like can flow round a ball. That's what they tell us. They say it's gravity, but like because it's still the theory of gravity and has never been proven and cannot be proved, I kind of think I want some evidence. If I must believe that, I have to have evidence. But where can I find this? Well, we know it's density and buoyancy. You know, like if I drop this is heavier than the air all around it, and it will fall. And then the buoyancy is the air below it wants to go on top of this. It's just density and buoyancy. It always was density and buoyancy until, and it wasn't even Sir Isaac Newton. It was Copernicus years ago. He talks about gravity. You know, like, and yet, but we've already taken it on ourselves and in our indoctrination, and we know it was Sir Isaac Newton because of an apple that fell, which it wasn't. It was actually Copernicus.
So do you believe that or not?
No. I kind of I think there's a problem with sorry, there is a problem with science. I think it all needs to be re-examined. You know, all the history of science. I don't. What shape is it? So I was just listening to that. I find that interesting. What shape it is? We don't know. Does it have to have a shape? Yeah. So I had this problem with like Eratosthenes. Okay, Eratosthenes was the first person that discovered the circumference of the Earth. Okay, and it's 24,900 miles. Okay, so that was Eratosthenes. And then when I did a bit of research and all that, I couldn't find any mention of Eratosthenes. He's like a figment of somebody's imagination, and he just appeared out of nowhere. There's no scrolls, there is no statues, there's no evidence that this guy ever existed, and yet people believe in this circumference of the Earth came from Eratosthenes. It doesn't exist. You know, like, so I have a problem with science, you know, like where our science comes from, because he mentioned something which kind of stuck to me. Thank you. He mentioned something that kind of struck a chord with me, and that was the winners write the history books on all these wars that have gone on from, you know, so yeah, so I kind of think, you know, so what science should we be trusting in? I think everything's open to question now, you know. And the thing is, with today's society and believing in our governments, I mean, like, I think in today's society you have to be crazy to believe that your government is telling you the truth about everything, you know. But yeah, some people do.
Yeah, well, bless them.
Right. Yeah. So did you believe like the moon landings and things? Have you been questioning that?
I haven't questioned it, no.
No. I didn't. I was a big Star Trek fan. Always believed in space, believed in the moon landings and things.
So I don't care about Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, my wife's well into Star Trek. yeah. No, but so I strongly believed in the moon landings, but now they make no sense. This is the greatest journey of astronauts going up into the moon. The greatest journey. And not one astronaut out of all the Apollo landings, not one astronaut did a 360 degree with the camera. And why would that be? Because you can't do it on Coronation Street either. Because there's always the fourth wall that you can't see, because that's the film directors and all that. And I mean, it's the great. It's like, can you?
Just because it didn't occur to them, they need to prove
that, there was a lot of Apollo landings and all that, and it's like you think of all the astronauts that, you know, like step foot on the moon. I'd say it's the greatest achievement of mankind. If you went and climbed a mountain, if that was your greatest desire in life, do you think you would just go like that?
wouldn't go down the other side just to check that.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so I have a problem with moon landings. You know.
I like asking questions. I love it when people ask questions.
Yes.
But my brain doesn't work well enough to ask enough questions.
No, you've done good so far. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm charging, but I'm getting a low battery. Hi guys.
Camera.
Oh yes, okay.
Right.
So basically what we're doing is we've got YouTube channels, okay, and we're getting people to critically think from a new stance of science and the world that you live in, okay, because like the Earth on what you know, like that you believe is a globe more than likely, okay, that was given to you at the age of maybe 5 when you believed in Santa Claus, maybe, and it's like at what point did you challenge that in your life?
I haven't.
So we're asking people to challenge that now. There's a website in that leaflet I just give you, FE Start. There's a couple of videos to watch, and we just use your own critical thinking with a cup half empty. You keep saying that.
It's on YouTube.
YouTube, that's right. Yeah. It's
which
channel? Well, on the website itself, even though it's on YouTube, you can actually see all the videos from that website, FE Start. Okay, that one there.
Oh yeah.
So you can see them all from that one, and then from there it just gets you to start in what's it the right way, because there's a lot of government disinformation websites out there.
I don't know.
There really is, and they want you to get the wrong information to begin with, and we just want to put you on the right track first, and then you can go on the wrong track afterwards when you're trying to debunk it.
Strange. All right. See it.
Okay. It's the biggest talk on the internet right now. There is millions of people waking up to this now. Okay, it's huge. It's really flat Earth. Very good.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Put it up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. All right.
Where are you from now?
Okay, I'm from Taunton in Devon.
Taunton, yeah.
And Harry, he's from Scotland.
Oh.
You know, so we're doing this UK tour. We're doing 56 or 57 locations in 8 weeks. So we're going around. We're doing England, Ireland, Scotland, and the Orkney Isles back round, and yeah.
Strange, because I haven't heard of it before.
Yeah, we go around and so yeah. I mean,
back round.
Sorry.
Back round.
Yeah. Well, I do. Yeah, definitely round. Yeah, back round. Yeah.
Sorry.
But not a sphere round. Yeah. I sometimes I catch myself. I've said it. I don't slip too often, but you know, this is just my indoctrination. Speaks for me. You know. So yeah. I mean, like. So. Oh, you've tied it. It fell down before, and it worried me.
Where do you get your funds from?
Well, to do this, to do this, we put a lot in ourselves, and we've got lots of Flat Earth helpers, and they've helped us along the way as well. They've all donated for this cause, you know, they've done an amazing job helping us get along the way, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of Flat Earthers here that kind of they want this truth out.
Thank you anyway.
Yeah, there's a website on there. Just check it out a little bit further, and if you can think of any more questions, I think we're here for a little bit long. Just come back and we'll talk to you. All right. Sorry. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a day here at the moment. I imagine that there's a few people here, but sorry, I can't see any of you. I tried to film for a bit, but my battery's running out, and yes, yeah, I'm just looking now. My battery's running out. I'm looking at my phone because I'm not sure if it is running out. It says 13% and 78%, so I really don't know. I'm just trying to. That's very odd. I'll keep going into, but it may just go blank. It might go off. Sorry. Oh. We're flat earthers. Grab a leaflet.
No,
really?
I investigated it myself.
Oh right, okay. And fully because.
Well, I've investigated it as much as I can on the internet. Yeah. But obviously, I haven't flown into space.
Ah, right. Okay.
It's funny, you guys are funny. It's funny how it all can spiral like this. It's amazing how something, an idea, can become so entrenched in the psyche of people.
Yeah, but for me, it's just land that we shouldn't be able to see.
It's what?
Land that we shouldn't be able to see.
Are you videoing me?
I'm videoing everybody. Would you prefer not to be able to move it away?
Yeah, I prefer not to.
I'll put it on myself. It's on me again. Back again, guys.
Yeah, but it's incredible how it's become.
It's a huge talking point on the internet now. Yeah, people don't realise there's millions waking up to this now.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's just how susceptible we are.
Okay.
You know, if it's
But
not
that's
this, it's
I know.
UFOs,
Yeah, but for me, it's a 5-year-old being susceptible in indoctrination, believing in the ball in the first place.
It's amazing all the evidence of the cameras in space.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Are they all doctored?
Have you watched some of them? But you've watched quite a few. Have you seen green screens and strings?
Without exception, is every single photograph.
Has to be. Everyone has to be.
Wow. How can you think like that? That's incredible.
Oh no, because go online. There's a guy called Paul on the plane.
Oh, I don't want to go.
Oh, I'm just.
Logically, when we look at planets and we see that there's spheres,
okay.
and we're looking out and seeing
so
spheres.
Are we? How are we doing that? Sorry, how are we doing that?
With telescopes.
You can see 2D.
No, you can see 3D.
No, a telescope you can see 2D.
You can see curvature.
Sorry, through a telescope?
Yes,
how? You're the only person that can do that. With telescopes. 2D a telescope. One eye, 2D. 2D.
No, you're talking about someone with one eye.
No, and then when a camera takes a picture, it only sees one image.
My cousin has an observatory.
Oh, that'd be great. Great. I hear people talking on the street in this. Can you evidence? Oh yeah, I'm not talking about the moon. The moon's here, we can see that. But we were talking about. Yeah, I agree. It looks spherical to me.
Why would the moon be spherical, but we would be flat?
Oh, is that a correlation? It's just that I don't know. Well, no, I've got brown shoes and he's got black shoes. Why is that?
Well, it's like the law of nature and gravity and how things are formed.
Okay.
How is it possible that we are, and what do you...
Sorry guys, I must listen to this so I can't get a word in edgeways.
No, I've got to go back to work, that's why
then sorry, my cup is full on this. You know, like for what you're offering now, it's just that...
Why would they lie though? For what reason would
we've just gone on about 5 different things then.
I know, because I've got to go back to
and do you want to wait for all these answers? 5 of them?
Okay, quickly, why would they lie? What's their interest in lying?
Okay, but you'll accept it'll only be a theory that I'll have. Because no one got took to court. No one got took to court, so there is no...
What's their interest
okay,
in lying?
did you watch Admiral E. Byrd going to Antarctica he took 3,500 troops and all that? He says in that interview.
In fact, if you debunk that, I can't off the top of my head, but I have done Byrd debunked, and there's some guys on there who are debunking everything.
Well, I'd like to see that because.
What is searching for it?
Well, I have. Well, yeah.
That is really.
In what way? So he didn't go to Antarctica?
Off the top of my head, but
did he go to Antarctica?
No, but the guy who debunked it was so convincing. You know, it makes so much logical sense.
But he did go to Antarctica. He did take 3,500 troops. He is in a TV interview saying that there is more land beyond the South Pole. He did say this live on air. That was an admiral. That wasn't what's it?
Oh, don't video.
So that was an admiral, you know, like so he did do all this. So like when you're saying that that's been debunked. So what we're saying. So what we're saying. Well, I really don't think so, and I implore you all, just check that out for yourself. But I really think
is this going online? Because I do not give you permission to put anything of me online.
It's me. Look,
okay,
look,
but
look,
for the record,
it's me.
I do not give you permission to broadcast or put anything.
Okay,
I say
and she thinks she's got any rights on that.
Okay.
Look, can I just? I'm sorry. Can I just? Please, can I say before you get?
Out of respect.
Well, that wasn't respectful to me then. Right. I know, but you wasn't being respectful then. But look, can I just say that this camera is on me. It's not on you.
Yeah, but it's listening to my voice.
It is listening to your voice.
Broadcast.
And I'm sorry, guys, because this is live. This is live, and
oh well, I wasn't given that information.
And if she doesn't want to, she'll have to walk away.
I was not given the
That's
information.
Okay. I haven't gone round everybody. I haven't told him it's live or him it's live, and it's him it's live.
Well, you should be telling people that this is live.
I shouldn't. You're in a public space, madam.
No, you should say this is being broadcast.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Have you got a license?
That's okay.
To be broadcasting?
Can you see this? And that's what you get. You get when people are kind of like being challenged and all that, and then all of a sudden, this is what happens. You know, like sorry, I'm not. You're not. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me.
Yeah.
I'm
How
on
do you explain line of sight?
So, right, okay.
Okay. Hang on, man.
I'll leave this lady here alone because I think she's getting a little bit upset. That's okay. Then walk away. Walk away, madam.
It's a bit late.
Walk away, madam. Well, it's too late. It's out. It's gone.
That's really deceptive.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Very, very
I haven't told this gentleman here
well,
that this can hear his voice.
About your tactics here, then what else are you being deceptive about?
Oh, there's a point one for you, madam. I can't help. I mean, like people. This is on me, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but if people can hear my voice, then hear your voice. I can't help that. You know. I think, I think she got a bit upset there. Right, there you go, and that's what happens. You know.
Don't worry about it.
That's okay. You come back. Did you have more questions?
I haven't.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God. Right, so it is. I've got about 4% left, so I've got to say goodbye to you guys.
Okay then.
All right then. Cheers then. I don't even know how to turn that off.
Question, yeah?
Okay.